Not every film can be Citizen Kane, but even critics have claimed that it was shit in its day. Some films are shit and shit they will stay, but some get better over time because of Nicolas Cage. So which film stays shit forever? And which one's got a little bit better? Second chance movies. No poor bloods were harmed in the making of this podcast.
Welcome to Second Chance Movies, the podcast where we rewatch movies and decide if they deserve a second chance.
I'm Joe Harper, your host who loves rewatching movies and ignoring celebrity gossip.
And I'm Jessica Kwazz, your host who's a one and done kind of movie viewer who thinks J-Lo is an underrated actress. And today we are giving a second chance to the very infamous Gigli.
All right, guys. Gigli has been a requested episode. I know. Please, Second Chance Movies. Please. Do Gigli. I don't know why you would want us to suffer through Gigli, but we did for your own benefit.
We did. This was a listener request. Shout out to Maddie, who asked us to review Gigli. It's funny, she actually asked this request before the public found out that Bennifer's back, baby. So it's just, I guess we willed this into existence that they got back together.
You're welcome, Ben and Jen.
You're welcome. You deserve happiness. But yeah, I mean, this movie, super notorious for not only being bad, but for being, the movie that started the romance. And
ended the romance.
And supposedly ended the romance as well. Our listener, Maddie, was very curious as to what this movie even was. And like we always say, you have a movie you want us to watch, we'll fucking do it. Even if it's Gigli, we will do it.
And guys, spoiler warning, we're going to be talking about this movie. First time was like on DVD after all the hype had died down. Is it really as terrible as they said it was? I watched it. I'm pretty sure I was like, this was just dumb and bad, and I didn't like it. I do not remember anything going into this movie again. So it was almost like watching it for a whole first time, just knowing like, I know I didn't like it, but I don't remember what the reason was I didn't like it. And now I know.
This was my first time watching it. I'd never seen it before. Obviously knew the lore around it, but I had no clue what it was even about. And let me tell you, I was very surprised.
So IMDb describes this movie with Larry Gigli. I'm just going to stop us right there. That's Ben Affleck's character's name, Larry Gigli. Larry Gigli is assigned by a crime boss to kidnap the brother of a prominent district attorney. A beautiful woman, known only as Ricky, is sent to stay with him to make sure he doesn't mess up the job. And that is a good summary of this movie. I think it's weird they mentioned the prominent district attorney because we never see that character in the movie.
No, we never ever meet him. And we'll get into that later because also that whole idea makes no sense.
Let's hear what the people had to say when this movie came out. Right off the bat, we're going to let you know. Rotten Tomatoes, the tomato meter, it's maybe the lowest score I've ever seen. 6%.
This might be an all-time low in terms of tomato meters for movies we've covered.
The audience gave it a 13, more than double what the critics thought.
Okay, they liked it a little more.
Before we get into these, I want to point out before we start, just probably ripping this movie a new asshole. I have watched clips of both Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez talk about this movie. They regret it. They know it didn't come out the way they wanted. And again, nobody goes in intentionally to make a bad movie. They tried their darndest. Even director, I've heard Affleck talk about director Martin Brest, that he was like one of the best actor or best directors and helped him kind of like lead him on the way to directing.
No, seriously, this director has some big name credits like Beverly Hills Cop, Meet Joe Black, Scent of a Woman, which is an Oscar-nominated movie.
He was
So
nominated for an Oscar for that.
yeah, so like, look, it's a horrendous movie, but like the actors, the director, it seems like they really did try. And we'll get into this later with like fun facts and stuff. It seems like it was the studio that came in and was like, nah, we gonna get crazy with this. So yeah, like
they've all admitted to like this movie wasn't great. So this is not news or a slander at any of them. At least for me. Maybe Jessica has some things to say about Affleck. I know her feelings towards him in previous episodes of ours.
Yes.
But like the director retired from directing after this. He was like, you know what? Fuck this.
That's really sad.
It's not great.
I don't like that for him. Poor guy.
Let's cheer ourselves up.
Yeah,
let's get some positive reviews.
So David Nazar from Real Film Reviews wrote, Gigli marks Affleck's most enjoyable performance outside of a Kevin Smith film.
I want to disagree and agree with his statement because it's not an enjoyable performance.
No.
But I will say, man, Affleck shines in a Kevin Smith movie, mostly just Mallrats, where he plays like an asshole mall guy.
Right. I would say, honestly, like he's trying. Okay. Affleck is trying in this movie. I'm not saying he's not. But the performance is not enjoyable. He's not funny. The character is like just so unappealing that it's not like he could do anything to make it enjoyable. Amy Dawes from Variety wrote, an enjoyably written and performed romantic comedy.
I disagree.
Amy?
I don't know. I think it's romantic or comedy.
Yeah, while watching it, I was trying to figure out, like, is this supposed to be a comedy or a drama? Like, I wasn't sure. I didn't know the genre. I don't know.
Chuck, the movie guy of comingsoon.net. I love Gigli. Julia Roberts and Richard Gere probably wish they had this type of chemistry.
I will say their chemistry is good. Like they're like watching it, I was like, okay, I clearly see why they hooked up because they're attractive and they have good chemistry. Like Rob Gonsalves from efilmcritic.com wrote, I can't call Gigli a misunderstood masterwork, but I'm not ashamed to say I enjoyed it.
Well,
good for you, Rob.
You know what? That's nice that you were able to find joy out of this.
Larry.
Dustin Putman, thefilmfile.com. Why Gigli is getting so widely lambasted from other critics, I don't know. It may not be life-changing motion picture, but it is always likable. Most of all, and most importantly, it has a good heart. And I will say, I think there's supposed to be a good heart in this movie, but like, I feel like the obliviousness to how terrible it is and how insensitive this can be, the heart is just like falls flat.
I agree. I think there was like an attempt at a good heart at its core, but it was grossly overshadowed by a lot of horrendous and ignorance. So
all right, well, this is what we all need right now. Shitting on this movie.
Let's get bitchy. James Christopher from the Times UK wrote, mere words fail to express the awfulness of Martin Brest's Gigli. Damn.
No, we got words about it.
We got a lot of words.
Sloan Fear, Radio Times. It comes to something when a movie is only worth watching to validate how dreadful it is. And that's really why most of us watch this.
Yeah.
We're like,
truly,
we want to see this train wreck. Why is it so bad? Why is everyone taking a huge dumper on it? And I know now.
That's literally why we're doing this episode. Renee Rodriguez from Miami Herald wrote, it's the sort of bizarre, ill-conceived picture you can't believe exists, but are secretly glad it does.
No, I'm not glad this exists. This is sad.
No.
This is sad for everyone involved. 'cause
Seriously.
the director retired because of all these bad reviews. Our stars that were together broke up, which is just sad that, you know, this movie ended love. Here's a reviewer that's near and dear to our hearts. Nell Minow.
My girl.
As
Love her.
From yeah, I think our fans know who Nell is. No, Nell. Nell. I would love to
No.
talk to Nell about movies. So Nell, writing for Common Sense Media, misbegotten mess of a not family-friendly movie.
She's all about if a movie's family friendly or not. Like that
That's
is
important to
her
her.
shtick. It really is. No, this is not family friendly in the least. Like
Yeah, this was made for adults.
I complete. You should be 21 and over to watch this movie with those fucking jokes that they make. Yeah.
So, after watching this movie, how did you feel about this movie?
I felt shocked because I did not know that was the plot. I felt bored.
First of all, you kept hounding me. Rent this movie. You need to watch it. Rent it. Have you rented it yet? Have you picked it up yet? Have you rented it yet? Did you pick it up? And I finally picked it up and I watched it. And I said, "What did you think about it?" I haven't got around to getting to it yet. I was so mad. And then you got sick. And then while you were sick, I was just like, you know what would make you feel better? Gigli. Fuck yourself. Watch Gigli while you're sick. That'll be the worst experience you'll ever have in your life.
The movie didn't make me flat out angry. Like I wasn't angry that I watched it.
Right.
I was more so just like, oh, okay, I see why people didn't like it.
I see why everyone hated this.
Yeah, I can kind of see it. But I did see some things that I were like, okay, I see, like there was something there.
What did you like about the movie?
My girl J-Lo. I think that while I don't hate her character, I don't mind her character. Her character is probably the most intriguing out of everyone. I think that J-Lo is constantly doing her best and doing it in a way that is engaging. She's got some interesting monologues and like moments where I'm like, okay, yeah, you're doing it, girl. Like, good for you. And same with Affleck. Like he really, like the two of them really tried their fucking hardest, and you can tell it's just the material that bogged him down. So one thing like I like as a concept, not so much the execution, is that so the plot with the mob is that Ben Affleck has to kidnap and hold hostage the brother of a district attorney. The brother is played by Justin Bartha of National Treasure and Hangover fame, who is playing a person with a disability. Okay. What I like is that Larry Gigli goes from, this is just a job, I gotta do this, whatever, and then grows to like care about this guy and form like a friendship, and like, oh, he doesn't want to hurt him, like he just wants to like let him go and be okay. So I did like that. I think again execution was a little sloppy.
The mob also sends in J-Lo, who is Ricky, to watch Larry Gigli and make sure he's doing so. What I don't know why the mob thinks we need to hire somebody to watch the person we hired to do a job.
Just hire someone better.
Just get Ricky to do the job.
Yeah, just get Ricky to do. Okay, what also doesn't make sense about that is that the mob boss that hired her never even met her. They've never met. That's explicitly stated. Like, I don't know the guy. I've never met him, but he hired me. Why? If you're a fucking mobster, you work with people you trust. You would not hire someone you've never met, don't know anything about, to carry out watching your sloppy worker. Like, just doesn't make any sense. It'd make more sense if they just like both worked for the same guy, hired them on, and had them both do this thing, as opposed to this weird like, well, Larry's messy, he needs a babysitter to babysit.
Because Ricky's super pretty, Larry is like, ooh, I want to I want to bed her while we're doing this job. Let's have some sex. It's gonna be awesome. I'm super good looking. You'll really enjoy that. And she, because she's a lesbian, or he finds out she's a lesbian, he has no chance. But he has the absolute chance because it doesn't seem like she's a lesbian. It seems like she's bi.
Well, so on that note, one thing that has not aged well
Yeah.
at all is when he finds out that J-Lo identifies as a lesbian, he's like mad, like that he's been rejected.
If I'm updating this, there's no romance in it. They're just two people. Maybe he has a lot of questions because they got a lot of downtime.
Sure.
And then it's more about her journey, her story against this backdrop of really stupid situation to be in. But like, it's two people that got hired. They're the same level. They both know, hey, I've never worked with you before. I've never worked with you. And then they get to know each other's backstory.
And make each other better, and you know, whatever. We don't need it to be a romance. But yeah, it's super strange because the whole lesbianism throughout the movie is just treated so bonkers. Like it's pretty much like Larry just thinks like, nah, I gotta get her, and then she'll realize she likes the peen, and it's like, dude, come on.
Yeah.
It's handled as if it's like all a choice, like she's choosing to only be with women, as opposed to like, this is just how I am, I'm attracted to women. And then she starts to catch feelings for Larry, which is totally fine. Like obviously she can be with whoever she wants, but then again, it's not like, oh, you know what, maybe I am bi, or like maybe I typically don't like men, but I like you and I like your personality, blah blah blah. It's again treated as like, okay, well now I'm choosing to try your peen. It's so strange how it's handled, where it's like a will they won't they, I guess, and I guess we're supposed to root for them, but it's like, well, what? But like, why? Even if she is fluid or bisexual or whatever, why him? He's not an appealing guy.
I'm a gangster living in LA, Los Angeles. I got stuck on the 405 today. Bada bing. Fucking mob in LA does not exist.
His boss, who's the least intimidating guy I've ever seen, thinks that he's a fucking shit show. Like he's a mess. Like he sucks at his mob job. And he does. He's really bad at mob stuff. But for some reason, they just keep giving Gigli tasks to do. What?
Larry
That's
Gigli,
not how the mob works.
I don't like the way you work. Here's another job.
And I'm gonna hire a babysitter. That is not how the mob works. They don't keep messy bitches around.
While we're talking about this mob, very fun surprise. We had Al Pacino in this movie, and he came out of nowhere.
Nowhere.
What is he doing in this? He definitely has a lot of fun in his scene and woke me up from whatever slumber I was in.
What is so wild to me about this and his character is that, okay, so here we go. This is going to take some words. So he hired Larry Gigli's boss, the mob boss, because
Lewis,
because Al Pacino's character was getting into some trouble with the district attorney in LA, and was like, hey bro, I need your help to get me out of some of this stuff. But instead of specifically saying or coming up with like a plan of like, how are we gonna do this, Louis was like, I got it, I'm gonna kidnap that DA's brother. He just made up that plan. So that happens. Larry Gigli kidnaps the brother, blah, 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 the whole movie. And then Al Pacino comes in and was like, that was a really stupid fucking plan, and murders Louis over it, and is like,
in front of Ricky and Larry. Realistically, he would have killed everyone. But in my remake, we would have found a better reason for any of this to be around.
Truly. It literally makes no sense.
Someone else is in this movie. Christopher Walken is in this, and I don't understand why he's in this. Is he
No.
another detective? I really do not remember. Even watching it, my wife and I were like, what was he in there for? He shows up at Larry Gigli's apartment
Yes.
to just kind of inquire about the kidnapping without knowing anything, and then just leaves.
Yeah. And then just he monologues. This movie loves a monologue. Everyone's
Yeah.
monologuing in this movie. But yeah, Christopher Walken is a detective who, like, I assumed maybe was like a dirty cop, and like, because the vibe was like, yeah, I know Gigli, what's up? And then was like, hey, do you know anything about this brother? And then exited the film.
So one of the things I like about this movie and also hate about this movie is that half the movie takes place in his apartment. We have a 2-hour movie, and 1 hour of it is just hanging out, bullshitting, monologuing in Gigli's apartment. And it's not that exciting. Like, it's not a fancy, crazy apartment, which is like anyone could have made this movie. It's weird. It's a weird choice.
It's really strange, especially when this is a mob-related movie. I agree where, like, I kind of like that idea if it could have been written as if it was like a play and like we had really dynamic moments, but we don't get that. So instead, it just looks like a student film. It's like so cheap.
I will say the most uncomfortable, cringy thing in this movie is watching Justin Bartha play a person with a disability.
Oh, it's so bad. It aged so bad. Wow.
This is one of those moments when I was like, this movie should get remade, and when it does, just hire someone with a disability.
Yeah.
And you can find them. Everyone acts, so
yeah. What's also really strange is his character is played for laughs a lot, and a lot of those laughs are like, ha ha ha, he swears, which is really bizarre. Like, he drops a ton of F-bombs, like just like one right after the other, and I think it was meant to be like a joke, like, this guy with the disability swearing, it's so dark and weird, and I do not like it one bit.
The only good moment they have with him is at the end when he they finally visit the beach, because all he's want to talk about is the beach, and Gigli always pretends he has a cell phone, again tricking him because of this disability. Picks up a cell phone because apparently he's too dumb to figure out this flashlight is a cell phone. Oh, come on.
That's another thing. It was really uncomfortable watching Gigli like manipulate a person with a disability. Like, yikes, I don't need that.
He keeps telling him, we can't go to the beach. A beach is closed. But they finally take him to the beach. And this is the only moment with this character is like great, and I like it. Is he goes to the beach, and then there's some sort of crowd there because I think they're filming some movie, and he just walks on to be an extra. You could just do that in LA. For those of you moving to LA, you could just show up to movie sets. They don't stop you at all. And they have to pair up for like dancing and kissing. And he pairs up with an Australian girl who he's had a crush on, like, Australians, the movie. It was cute. All came together that he at least found a girl that his dream girl he was looking for. Not that they were going to date, but like, he's like, this is someone special. This is nice.
Yeah, he gets like a nice little happy ending. Good for him.
Yeah, it was cute.
Yeah, it is cute. It's like the only good part of the ending, because everything else, it just kind of stops. The ending is like, oh, okay, I think we're done.
They drive off in the sunset. Okay, they'll be together. She's still lesbian.
Basically, yeah. At some point, he's like, so what does this mean for us? And she's like, I don't know. And then they drive off into the sunset and stay friends or not.
I don't know. I think this movie needed less like romance and just like a budding friendship. The thing that irritates me the most in this movie, and I feel like it doesn't get talked about, I hate the music. It sounds like this dopey elevator, like campy 90s, like campy 90s TV movie.
It's so bad. That was one of my notes too, where it's like, what is this background music? It sounds like, yeah, like an elevator music, but also maybe like something that would be the background music in like a Hallmark movie. Like it's just like it's so strange, and it's like constant, and it's so noticeable.
It's very
really
distracting.
so distracting.
Because it doesn't help, because music definitely helps add like flavor to your movie, adds emotion, helps show our characters what they're kind of going through without like without telling us.
Yeah, it evokes something.
This does nothing. This music is distracting and doesn't
Awkward.
help the tone.
No, it makes it all even more uncomfortable and awkward to watch. So bad. One thing that really like, I mean, there's just so many things that bother me, but one thing that bothers me a lot is that none of these characters evolve like in any way. Maybe Brian, because he gets a little more adventurous, but like Ricky, Gigli, they don't like grow or change or better themselves.
Gigli learned that someone with a disability is not always a punchline to a joke, but someone you could befriend.
Sure, yeah, he did learn that. That was something he probably should have known already.
The audience already, I hope the audience already knew that. Oh man, you know, a movie that the part that was interesting at first, but then got super cringe. J-Lo's girlfriend or ex-girlfriend shows up and it's like, what are you doing? What are you living here? I'm like, okay, this is interesting. What's going on? And then she slits her wrist in front of everyone. And what is happening?
It was so bizarre. And then
it comes out of left field.
It comes out of left field. She does that. They bring her to the hospital, and then it's never talked about again.
Yep. Well, she's my ex now.
Well, not my problem.
And
she's
now
the hospital's problem.
And now I like cock.
It was so bizarre.
What's happening, Larry?
Also, can I say that woman who played J-Lo's ex was like if 2003 was a person, like the way she looked with the hair and the outfit. It's like she is the time in a person. Oh my god.
I'm just gonna rattle off notes, because for those of you who are wondering, what are some key points in this movie? Gigli doesn't own a book. He instead, when Brian wants him to read something, he reads a hot sauce bottle.
Yep, that's played
up for laughs.
Played up for laughs. Big moment in the movie.
Oh man. In every relationship, there is a bull and a cow, and hearing that analogy is not great.
No, but it's supposed to be romantic.
Oh yeah, that's true. It's supposed to be flirty.
It's flirty.
Oh, did they start off the movie with voiceover?
Yes.
Who is it? Is it Gigli or is it?
So, oh my god, the beginning. Oh my god. So it starts off as a voiceover, and then it cuts to.
It's me, Larry. This is about the craziest week I ever done had.
It cuts to the most awkward close-up of Ben Affleck, who is like continuing the monologue from the voiceover. Because again, this movie loves a fucking monologue. And he's just talking and chatting and chatting and chatting and chatting. And then you look and they turn the camera to what he's looking at. And it's a guy that he put in a dryer because he owes the mob boss money. And then we just go back to like Ben talking and talking. It's the cringiest start to the movie, because not only is it a voiceover that we never use again, it's like this weird like
style of
here's his face.
It seems like he's breaking the fourth wall when he's not actually doing that at all.
Yes, it's really bizarre. You know what bothered me? They cut off some random dead guy's finger.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
It was disturbing as hell. So the mob boss demands that they cut off. I keep forgetting his name. You keep saying it, but I keep forgetting. Lewis demands that they cut Brian's thumb off, and so they can send it to his brother and be like, look, we got your brother.
I mean,
we already knew that.
That's reason one. Well, to prove that he had the brother.
Right.
Part two, he wanted to make sure Larry was tough enough to injure Brian.
Yes.
He wasn't, and neither was Ricky. They're both like, we don't want to hurt him.
Yeah. So
we're the mob. We don't hurt people. They're both terrible at their jobs.
They're so bad at their jobs. They would have gotten murdered because they're so bad. But their solution is to, when they take the girlfriend who slit her wrist to the hospital, they decide to sneak into the morgue section.
This is why that girlfriend slitting her wrist scene was written.
Yep, to get them to the hospital.
To find a dead
oh
finger.
My God, yikes. Yeah, so we see Brian just sitting in the corner, and Gigli's like, don't look. And then we get this weird shot of like Ben and his back shooting the camera, and he's like hacking away at a thumb.
With a plastic knife.
Yeah, he uses a fucking, how long would that take, bro? Like a bone and a plastic knife? It's so weird. Days. And yeah, then
multiple plastic knives.
That thing would break instantly. You can't even cut a fucking steak with a plastic knife, let alone a thumb. It was really bizarre and really uncomfortable to watch. And then, bites him in the ass because they send it off and the brother gets a fingerprint test done. Dumb. They're so bad at being mobsters.
All right, so let's fix this movie.
Okay. Wow.
Okay.
It's a task.
So let's fix this movie because we have enough bad shit about this movie. So let's fix it. First of all, I'm recasting everyone. Sorry, J-Lo. I can't use you.
I would put her as Al Pacino.
I'd like to see her more of that, especially after Hustlers. I want her to be more in charge.
Hell yeah.
That's hot.
Hell yeah.
All right. We've recast everyone. I don't care who we get. Whoever is Gigli has to be like an actual like tough Italian dude that like I feel like he could probably beat the shit out of someone in a bar.
Yes.
But he's also like not so unlikable that we, the audience, just can't stand him. Affleck is not really charming, and I think he comes off as like a smug douchebag. And I just think if we got someone who's actually kind of charming but a douchebag, that might work a little bit.
Yeah.
And again, I think Larry and Gigli, or Larry and Ricky, are more partners in becoming friends than wanting to hook up. I have someone to replace J-Lo with as Ricky.
Oh, who?
Let's put Stephanie Beatrice in this from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. She is out as bi, and let's let's have it.
She's got the sass. She's got the comedic chops and the charm. Yeah. I would also say we got to play up into this mob plot. That's got to be our focus.
We have more mobsters than just destroying 4 of them.
Yeah. And actually show them like do things.
Doing mob things.
Mob things.
I also probably wouldn't have this movie set in Los Angeles. There's no reason for this movie to be set in Los Angeles other than that's where everyone that made this movie lives.
Seriously, it's convenient.
Yeah, especially when half the movie is in an apartment. It could have been fucking anywhere. I also want this movie to be clear on why we're going after Brian. What is the crime? Because you know who we're adding to our story? Brian's brother.
Yeah.
He'll be a character in this movie.
Yeah.
And we'll see his perspective. So I think it would be not a movie about Gigli and Ricky. It would be about like 4 or 5. It would be about 5 people.
Ensemble who are all in this entanglement, this mess. Yeah.
Ricky, Gigli, Brian. Brian's brother worried about this issue. My brother's kidnapped. I would need to get him back. And then I would like to see Lewis as the fleshed out character of like, I hired this fucking guy. He's not doing it. Like, what are you doing? I need you to do this.
Mm-hmm. And I'd say, let's get a detective in the mix too, trying to figure out where the fuck this brother is.
Yeah. Christopher Walken's character gets explained a bit better.
Yeah, a little bit more. Yeah.
We got it. We've solved Gigli.
We did it.
We're ready for the remake. Hollywood, please give us our money and we'll make you an okay movie. Because you know what? Everyone's gonna watch it to see, is it as bad as the first one? Did
Yeah.
they get better?
Yeah.
Wow, this movie is okay now.
J-Lo and Ben have cameos. Whoa.
They would never.
I
with
feel
that,
like J-Lo would, because she's in on a joke sometimes.
I feel like they both could be on a joke sometimes.
Yeah, I think we could get them in as cameos. I'm just
Especially-
so
yeah.
curious about what the original script was, because there's no fucking way any of these actors would have signed on for this. And like you said, like there was changes made to it when they started dating.
Yeah.
What the fuck was the original movie?
I think some top dogs at the studio were like, let's make this a rom-com because they're dating and that's what people like, the hot gossip.
Which is so inaccurate, because there's been so many other movies where co-stars have hooked up that are not rom-coms and people go to see them because they want to see them on the screen together, which I don't get, but it happens. Joe.
All right, guys, that was Gigli.
That was Gigli. I think it's pretty obvious it does not deserve a second chance. Yeah, no, it definitely doesn't deserve a second chance or a first chance at this point. Again, it's not even like a so bad it's good kind of movie. There's no real like entertainment value out of it. I know some of us have a morbid curiosity and want to see how bad it really is. It's bad, and it's not bad enough to be entertained by how bad it is.
About half of the film, 52 minutes, is set in Larry Gigli's apartment. The interior of the apartment is built on a soundstage. It's not an exciting apartment. It's
like,
guys, this is 2 hours of the movie you cannot get back. It doesn't deserve more of our time.
Hours. And it's like so strange because so much happens, yet nothing happens at the same time. So no, don't watch it. Please don't watch it. Your time is precious on this earth, and we did it for you.
And you know what? If you like those actors, go ahead and go watch Hustlers.
Yes.
Go watch Mallrats.
Go watch Enough. Enough is dope. I don't care what anyone says.
So many good things that these two have done, and other people that are part of this have done. Yeah.
This ain't it. There's a reason. This ain't it.
Yeah.
Well, we did the work for you, so you never have to watch Gigli. And let us know if there's any other movies you want us to watch for you. If you are very curious, or if you're curious about a movie you once saw and want to know how it held up today, we will watch anything. Let us know.
If we sat through Gigli, we can sit through almost everything else.
Seriously. So let us know.
That's not a challenge. I have to state that is not a challenge, everyone. But we are curious about really, hey, movies that you thought were great, but no one else thought they were great.
Let us know. We'll watch it. We'll watch it. Well, thank you again for listening to an episode of Second Chance Movies. As always, a big thank you to Beaty McBeatface for making our dope theme song. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Letterboxd. We're on pretty much all podcast platforms and YouTube. Everything will be linked in the description box below. So follow us, engage with us. Let's be friends. Let's chat. We want to hear your thoughts. Did you ever see Gigli? What do you think? Is Hustlers your favorite movie? If so, why? And yeah, we'll be back next week with another Second Chance movie.
It's turkey time. Gobble, gobble.
Second chance.